Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. So when we went to go see Sonic, I always love to walk the theater and look at all the movie posters and be like, oh, that movie looks cool. Oh, that movie looks weird. There's a poster for a movie called Men, and you see like a creepy smile. The guy looks like Shigeru Morimoto with a fake... He just has that look, like where it's like friendly but scary. Like, okay, there's something off about this guy's smile, but in a creepy way. Where Shigeru Morimoto is like, oh, he looks like a happy dude. Let's go talk to this guy. This guy's like trying to emulate that fake happiness.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? Then I'm like, oh, let's see if there's a trailer for this. So when we got back home, we saw the trailer. And starts out like, oh, this kind of like happy music, but it's A24 or 42A. They always make weird ass movies. And looks like a woman is kind of going to an Airbnb or something, where it's like, oh, it's a beautiful castle. Oh, here's the grounds, and looks like a happy kind of like, oh, she's gonna discover herself, and she's a writer or something,
Discover something, all right.
She takes a bite, and things are just a little creepy, but okay, it's a big house. It could be a little creepy. She's outside in the garden. She eats an apple.
And she's like having like a weird kind of like,
oh, it's such a good apple.
yeah.
Then she's talking to the guy. I guess he's the housekeeper or whatever. And he's like, you ate one of those apples? She's like, oh yeah, it was delicious. You shouldn't have done that.
And
she's
then
like,
kind of
what?
And then that, like I said, that creepy look in his face, but he's like, now he's...
It's like, oh, forbidden fruit and all. And she's like, huh? Oh, I'm just messing with you. Ha ha ha.
But he
ha.
says it in such a way, like in a creepy, off-distant way.
That's
like,
when we're like, okay, this is a scary movie.
Yeah.
She gets to like a giant, like under cavern thing, but like a tunnel. She like does like a the echo thing. She goes but the kid's like the echo goes but that lasts the whole trailer. So it's and it's really drowning. It's droning, and it's creepy, and it makes you unsettled.
And then we start seeing weird imagery of like creepy demon looking things.
A man obviously jumped out of a window and killed himself. But he looked right at her. I'm like, oh my! If that really happened, how traumatic would that be?
And then you get this preacher guy that's just like there. She's like walking around like a cemetery, and then they're talking.
It's like, oh, your husband killed himself. She's like, yeah, he jumped out the window. Like, oh, that was her husband.
Yeah.
But but here's the thing though, can you trust your memories? Can you trust your nightmares? Because when she looks as he's falling out the window, it almost looked like he didn't want to die.
No.
Because he almost had a concerned look on his face.
Did she push him?
Maybe she's really crazy. But then the preacher guy's like, oh, you must feel a lot of guilt for pushing him towards it. He's like, I didn't make him do it. Yeah, it's kind of your fault. Maybe if you would apologize, he wouldn't have done it.
What are you talking about? How did you know
but
that?
Everyone who's been part of something like that, there's a part of you thinking, what could I have done?
Right.
Did I fail as a wife? Did I fail as a lover, as a partner?
As a friend.
As a friend? Did I fail as someone that should have been there for you? Those feelings do happen, but why would this guy who's, I don't know if he's really a preacher or just a figment of her imagination, push those kinds of feelings on her to get her to kill herself?
Right, and then she's having visions or like things of seeing people, and then she talks to the cops like, hey, like this guy's been following me.
But everyone has like all the men have the creepy ass kind of like that doll smile.
Yeah, we're like, oh really? Like,
and then there's one little kid wearing like a creepy mask.
You're like, oh, let's play hide and seek, but then it's like another guy. I'm like, is this the same? Is she seeing the same guy over and over again?
I think that's what it is. Because at the end of the trailer, it shows like all of them, but they all look very similar.
Yeah, they have a very kind of like, and it's just called men. Like, is this the whole thing? All men are the same? Here's the thing. I don't necessarily like the title if it's being like, oh, men are creepy, men are evil. But I do like the intrigue of, I'm thinking, did she bite that apple and there's like a drug in it? And she's just having a psychedelic freak out?
I want to know, did she kill her husband, or did her husband really accidentally fall off that balcony, or something happened?
Or is it a Shutter Island thing where she caught her husband cheating and she killed him, and then she just took that out of her head?
Yeah,
he killed himself. No, you shoved him out of the window.
Right.
And that was him looking up like,
yeah, that's what I'm interested in. I don't know about all the other stuff. Yeah.
Is she really going nuts? Because she looks like a frail, very small, very demure little lady. But then, are there demons? Because there's a part where she has like a knife. Is she gonna have to? Is this a horror movie with a body count? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
Or is it just all psychosomatic in her
Maybe
brain?
she's in that house all by herself.
Maybe she's in the nut house. Is it gonna be one of those endings where it's like, oh, this is one of our more interesting cases. She believes that she went to this castle, and it's like she's in a nut house at the end.
Right. Or is it one of those things where she's already dead?
Yeah, and this is like her purgatory of trying to like redeem herself from what she did to her husband.
Right.
But why call it men? So it makes you think it's the man's fault. So it's weird.
See, I don't like the title.
Yeah, the title makes me think, okay, leaning one way, but maybe that's to subvert my expectations.
I don't know. It seems like it would be a fun, again, one of those movies you would rent at a Blockbuster.
But last night at Shoujo had a very interesting trailer, and that let me down.
Oh,
That had a stupid ending.
yeah.
It's really dumb.
Well, see, I think this is a movie I definitely would watch on a streaming site. I wouldn't necessarily go to the theater for it.
If there was nothing else to see and I was already out and everyone was dead set on seeing a movie, I might go see this. But that situation never really comes up.
Yeah.
That only happened with Captain Marvel, where it was like someone else paid for it, and I did that.
Oh, Captain Marvel!
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So that's all.
bad.
That situation never really comes up. But this looks. I love the trailer. The droning of that echo going on and on and on,
Making it into the music.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like it just sits on you and it just pushes you down.
And then that weird, creepy part at the end where it literally showed everyone, but it is like almost like the same actor.
Yeah, where it's like their bodies are moving, but their faces are staying the same.
Please don't be something stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried. It's gonna be something dumb, and I'm gonna be like, okay.
But that's one time where a movie poster intrigued me enough to like look deeper.
Because he's weird. Because he's got a smile, but it's that weird, like creepy, like I'm gonna hurt you.
Oh, I'm smiling, darling. Here it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Like a forced smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a gun in my back and I'm smiling.
Right.
Exactly.
That's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.